Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Misa and today I am doing the Moody Reader Book Tag. Firstly, before I get started, apologies for being a bit quiet on BookTube lately in the last 10 days or so. Now today is day 3 of our full national lockdown and this has been brewing for some time over here in Malaysia. But it has been quite an adjustment to get ready to work from home, be stuck at home. But this time we're still allowed to walk outdoors, so it's not as bad as this time last year, I suppose. Anyway, I thought it would be a really good time to do this particular book tag today because I am a mood reader 100% and my reading mood has been basically non-existent for the last 2 weeks or so. So I've read very slowly and I lose interest in books really quickly. And so I've just been looking for things that I know will help me get through this lockdown. And unfortunately, reading is not one of those things for me personally. Last year when we were in this prolonged lockdown as well, I didn't read a single thing. That's also the reason why I delayed starting my BookTube channel until January this year, because I thought by then my reading mood was here to stay and we weren't coming back to this spot. Sort of like deja vu. As I said before, today we are doing the Moody Reader Book Tag and I was kindly tagged by Mark from Book Time with Elvis. So thank you so much for tagging me. And this tag was originally created by Brittany from the Slanted Spines, so I will leave a link to both of their channels down below. And let's get started. The first question is, do you consider yourself a mood reader? And I think I just already answered this question just now. But anyway, 100% yes. I can't do TBRs. I have tried to do them. I find the process of building TBRs extremely enjoyable and fun, but I don't like to follow that TBR subsequently. So it's sort of like window shopping, but I don't buy those things. So I typically won't pick up books that are actually on my TBR, and it's just my personality, I think. So that leads us to question 2, which says, do you set TBR lists and stick to them? So that is absolutely not. And that is also true in my personal life. If I set a to-do list, I will typically avoid all the things. Whereas if I don't set out with that to-do list at all, I will be very efficient and get a lot of things done in my day. I guess I just don't like to pre-plan my day too much, even if it's just for that one particular day. Building a to-do list in the morning is a big no-no for me because I often find that I have to change my plans flexibly around other people or just like external circumstances beyond my control, like traffic or weather. I mean, in Malaysia, we have these kind of legitimate excuses like it's raining and I'm stranded kind of thing. So I just find that I'm much more productive if I just tell myself to go from one thing to the next without much of a break in between. Okay, back to the questions. Question 3 is, do books affect you emotionally and does the mood of a book rub off on you? The short answer to this is yes, books do tend to emotionally affect me, but only internally. So even if I'm reading a really emotionally heavy book, I don't tend to show it outside. But sometimes when I'm reading something really powerful or very profound or something that is really giving me a lot to think about, and then I come out of the book and go about my daily life and I see other people and I'm just like, I sometimes feel like I'm stuck in a glass box or something where I'm stuck inside with the book and its world. And then there are these other people who have no idea what I'm reading and what I'm going through. And I feel really detached from the outside world. It's sort of the same feeling I get when I'm traveling and I go to a new city or something and then I'm trying to get my bearings, but I see all these people who are going about their daily lives, they're local people, and that's always so shocking to me because that place is new to me, but it's not new to them and that's their home, you know, and I just feel like that's so strange. But yeah, I really like that feeling, to be honest. But yeah, books tend to give me that feeling as well. Question 4 is, when you're feeling sad, what do you read or do you not read when you're sad? And no, I don't read when I'm sad because usually when I'm sad, I don't want to do anything. I usually just sleep. So yeah, I don't tend to do really any activities when I'm sad. Question 5 says, most often do you use reading to escape, to learn or to critically reflect? I think for me personally, I read to learn, and that could be in fiction as well. I try to pick up books that discuss things I've never been exposed to before. So I will read anything, but I tend to stay away from books that have repetitive tropes, and if it starts to feel predictable, then I tend to put it down. Question 6 is, what book made you laugh out loud? And I feel like there are many books that fit this description, but the most recent one was The Cruel Bird Came to the Nest and Looked In by Magnus Mills, which I thought was so funny. I have not read the other Magnus Mills books that I picked up recently, but I can't wait to read them. He's so funny. I think it was an added bonus that there were lots of musical references for me to enjoy, and I was just shaking my head and laughing all the time. Question 7 is, what is a book that made you cry? And if you don't cry, one that moved you. I don't cry in books, as with most other situations in life. And that is not because I'm a robot, but it's because I'm a Capricorn and we just don't show our emotions. So I am still deeply affected, but I would never show it, I think, to the outside world. I think I've got 2 books I can talk about that moved me in a very similar way. The first one of those is a recent read called The Music of the Ghosts by Vadi Ratna, which is about the Cambodian Khmer Rouge genocide. And the second one is called The Color of the Sea by John Hamamura, which is about Japanese Americans during the Second World War. So they actually had a very similar tone, and even the way that the plot moved along, very similar, but they had very heartbreaking moments without being too sentimental. So I really loved that about these books. Question 8 is, what is a book that you didn't even know how you felt about it? There are so many books like this, because a lot of the time when I finish reading a book, immediately afterwards I would not really know how to summarize my thoughts. And there are other books that make me feel extremely uncomfortable, and I had a terrible time reading it, but it was more because of the experiences that the characters were having. And then over time, I realized the book did something quite extraordinary. And sometimes I end up surprising myself when I realize that I really liked the book, even though I didn't like the journey itself, but the book was really effective. And one author that I can think of that does this really well is Patrick Ness. And I've only read a couple of things by him, but right now, I'm happy to report that now I have the whole trilogy of the Chaos Walking. So I'm really excited to get started with those. Question 9 is, are you more likely to read on a sunny day or a cloudy day? It doesn't matter, because I always read indoors. And plus, in Malaysia, we get anything from sunny, cloudy, hazy, rainy in the space of one day. For example, right now it's raining, but it wasn't at the start of this video. So you might be able to hear the rain. The one thing that I don't like is reading outdoors, especially on a beach or something when it's sunny, because you can't see anything. So I really don't like that. To me, reading outdoors seems really nice by concept, but I've never enjoyed doing that because it's windy and it's too bright. Question 10 is, do you usually set the mood when you read? Music, lights, smells, etc. No. That's a short answer. I think I used to when I was in my 20s, and I used to think that that was really important for me. And I would collect candles and incense and put on cafe jazz type of music in my bedroom. I used to live in a share house, so yeah. But I don't do that anymore, and mainly that is because I have cats and candles are so dangerous, so I don't have them. And if I was going to have any scents, it would just be maybe a resin incense or something for a very short amount of time. Certainly not enough time for the duration of my reading. And I don't really like having music on because I feel like it's work. I can't help but analyze the music while it's playing, so I can't really have that on while I'm trying to read and concentrate on that. The final question is, can you leap from book to book, or do you need buffer time between them? That depends. I usually have lots of books on the go. I can read many books at the same time and not really get confused. But sometimes a book will have a heavy effect on me, and I wouldn't say that that puts me in a slump. I think that's a bit exaggerated. But I certainly need recovery time, or I want to choose to savor that moment, so I don't want to be too quick to move on. Like right now, I am just recovering from reading The Music of the Ghosts. I've read some light-hearted material after that book, but I just don't really feel like reading anything profound since that time. Okay, so those are the 11 questions for the Moody Reader Book Tag. I'm going to tag Ariel from Reading and Whatnot, Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot, and Jack from Spreadbook Joy. I love all of their channels so much, so if you haven't checked them out yet, please go and subscribe and watch all their videos because they're great. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe if you'd like to see more videos from me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!